In previous videos I explained all kinds of little things about the Infiltrator class, so now I'll explain another one. This one though is probably more important because it's about cloaks. First though, here are a few things that they all have in common. Number 1, cloaking and decloaking speeds as well as visibility are all the same. Number 2, once EMP'd you will decloak no matter which cloak you have. Number 3, the faster you move the more visible you get, of course up until a certain point. Number 4, you can see cloaked enemies in about 50-meter range. Once enemy is further than that, he just won't render, although you can still hit him. Okay then, let's take a look on those cloaks. By default you have Hunter Cloak. Fully charged, this cloak will last 12 seconds, but when upgrading this cloak you'll decrease its recharge time from 12 seconds to 8 seconds on max level. So basically this cloak's advantage is in its fast recharge, which allows you to spend more time while cloaked than uncloaked. And it's also my personal favorite. Anyways, another cloak by default. You have Stalker. This cloak's characteristics are the same as Hunter's, with 3 exceptions. You will recharge your energy as soon as you stop moving, while still being cloaked. It will prevent you from using your primary weapon, and each upgrade will increase the time you can spend while moving and cloaked from 12 seconds to 16 seconds, as well as decreasing the recharge time while being cloaked from 20 seconds to 12 seconds. But recharge time when you're not using your cloak will be constantly 12 seconds. Overall, this cloak requires different approach to all situations due to the fact you can only use mines or sidearm to protect yourself. So whenever using this cloak, be very careful when engaging enemy. With Stalker Cloak you can help your team by capturing enemy's point and staying on it. So enemies can't take it back unless they bring more people. I know it's cheesy tactic, but it works, and it works well. Overall, Stalker Cloak is not made to go against big targets or huge crowds for that matter. It's made for precision takedowns and sneaking around. Anyways, moving on. Why should you stay with Hunter? There's one more cloak, right? Well, I'll let you decide that for yourself. So Nano Armor Cloak. Sounds sexy, but is it really? This cloak is the same as Hunter, while upgrades are similar to Stalker. With each upgrade you'll decrease recharge timer, in total from 13 to 11 seconds. And you'll increase cloak's duration timer from 6.5 seconds to 8.5. By these stats, this cloak is the worst one yet, but its real intention is to be like a shield, because once you're cloaked it provides some percentage of resistance to infantry weaponry, and on the last upgrade you'll have 35% resistance. Due to no information from developers, I can't really say what you're starting with, what kind of percentage, whether that's 10, 15 or 20 or whatever. Nevertheless, sure, it sounds pretty good. While I'm cloaked I'm getting less damage. But let's check that, and I'm afraid I'm going to use math. So basically what you should know about Infiltrator is that its HP pool is smaller than other infantry unit ones, which amounts to 400 points, while Shield is still 500, and in total you have 900 points of life. And let's say enemy is wielding your typical rifle with 143 point damage per bullet, so you will be dead in 7 shots. But when using Nano Armor Cloak you'll receive 35% less damage, so from each bullet you'll receive 93 points of damage. So your death will come in 10 bullets. Now that sounds pretty good, but keep in mind that it will happen only when you use your cloak. Plus most of the people use about 20 bullets to kill a guy, so chances are you'll still be dead. Now of course, hypothetically speaking, let's say you manage to weave yourself out and survive somehow. Now you have the problem with cloak. It will run out quite quickly and you will be visible. Therefore, a lot of enemies will spot you and, get you killed again. So now the problem comes with the recharge itself, which takes quite long time. But nevertheless, it will help you somehow survive few shots if you manage to cloak whenever somebody is shooting you. Oh, and it's also worth mentioning that Nanoweave doesn't stack with this cloak. So whenever you'll be uncloaked, you'll be using Nanoweave's resistance, but when you're cloaked, you'll be using your cloak's resistance. Now that I think of it, it would be actually more beneficial if you used Hunter Cloak and Nanoweave than Nano Armor. But I guess it all comes down to preference. But if you're a sniper, better use Hunter. Anyhow, this video is a part of my Infiltrator Guide series, and if you want to check out other parts, be sure to visit my channel.